Da, 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 da.
Greetings, fellow test subjects. Test subject 1337 here for Aperture Gaming. They make it, we test it, you play it. And now it is time to blow off some steam as Aperture Gaming is proud to present a boss review. Now, this game that I'm reviewing is called Halibut, and what got my attention to it was that this game, it is stop motion. It is a stop motion game. I am a huge fan of the field of stop motion. It takes a lot of time and effort and dedication and commitment, and this game does that. So, like, if you're a fan of the Robot Chicken franchise, or anything from Leica Animation, and of course, Aardman Studios, yeah, so if you're a fan of anything stop motion, then give this game consideration. So, yeah, because there's just so much about this, so let's get right into the review, shall we?
Series.
So this game is not a sequel, prequel, or in-between-quel, or related to any of those films or shows that I previously mentioned.
Team.
This game is developed and published by Slow Bros. And here's what. This game took over 10 years to make because of the stop motion.
Plot.
You play as Harold Halibut, the title character of the game. You are a custodian slash lab assistant on board a spaceship, the Fedora. It left Earth during the period of the Cold War, when things were feared to be about to be getting too hot. And about 200 years later, it has crash landed on a watery planet. Now, as Harold, you and the other people who are currently on the ship spend your days on this water planet just existing, just surviving, and just waiting to try to find a way to get off the planet. So things are going at a pretty slow pace and pretty normal until Harold starts hearing and seeing things happening around the station and discovers something that's kind of a game changer for him and everyone else that's on the ship.
Gameplay controls.
When I first plugged in the game, it says that this game is designed for controllers only, for the PlayStation slash Xbox controls. It shows it, so I plugged in mine, and the game, you move around with the left joystick, and you interact. You select people you want to talk to, buttons you want to push. You have a PDA that shows you your missions, your assignments, like the main storyline stuff and then side missions. You can talk to characters, there's even an arcade game you can actually play in some areas, but yeah, it's basically walking around and interacting with people and places and things to help progress the story. And Harold walks most of the time, but there's a button you push down if you want to run a little faster.
Graphics.
One of the big things that drew me to this game was, okay, this is graphics. Here's what. The characters are puppets, and the environment is like handmade, small scale model stuff, so I love this. It just looks so amazing. You're like, oh, this looks pretty cool. So yeah, I love how they filmed everything, they photographed everything, they built it all, and then they added in, of course, the computer stuff to it. So I just love the fact how everything just looks great. It's great seeing like stuff that was made by hand in the real world, and it's now in game.
Audio.
The audio is pretty interesting. We have the effects of, well, since they are on a water planet, the water effects are pretty cool. There's intercom announcements. It's really interesting between like having a conversation with a person and then listening to something either on the TV or over the intercom. So very good work on the vocals for communication. I like some of the music. And it's just interesting hearing all the stuff all the different music and sound effects in a very self-contained and isolated environment.
Multiplayer.
No, there is no multiplayer.
DLC.
Yes, the only DLC that is currently available is the soundtrack for the game. As for other DLC, I could potentially see an art book, but for like, I don't know, new locations, costumes, dialogue, or items, I'm like 85 to 95% certain that it would be next to impossible to do DLC for this based on what was, stuff that had to be made, stuff that had to be animated, and the fact that this game took over a decade to make. Any DLC would either be, I don't know, about 5 years, or maybe it would be another 10 years, but I honestly don't think there's any DLC possible.
Issues.
Okay, so while I was playing this game, the game crashed once. I can't tell if it was the game's fault or something going funny with my computer. Aside from that, there's no real technical issues. But I guess the problem, gameplay wise, very slow pacing. So it is a game, but it seems to be more heavily focused on narrative. So if you're looking for something that's like light on story and heavy on gory, this isn't the game because this is something where you do interact with people and places in the environment, and given how they had to make things and animate things, no one's gonna be doing like backflips every time you double tap left, right, up, down, or shooting everything that's in sight. Now there is gameplay elements in the arcade, but yeah, it is a story-focused game. So this might be a bit of a driving away for like people who are looking for something else.
Buy, rent, or pass.
Like I said, the game isn't really meant for people who are trying to, do like speed runs or beat the boss using only one power up. So I'd say it is. Like if you're a fan of stop motion and if you do like narrative games, then I would say this is a buy. So I'd say it's a buy, but it's kind of lingering towards the gray, ambiguous area of between buy and rent.
Overall score.
All right, now this game, it should be praised for its achievements, for its look, its style, the technology that was put into it. Sure, it took over 10 years, but it's amazing how they were able to do this. And great story. I mean, if the story was bad, then I'm not sure I'd be giving it such praise. But yeah, like I said, it is a very narrative-driven story, narrative-driven game, and I like it. But so we here at Aperture Gaming, we give Harold Halibut a solid 8 out of 10. I found it entertaining. I'm interested to see how the entire thing plays out. So yeah, if you are a fan of stop motion, give this a shot. And it's also available on multiple platforms, and like I said, I had to plug in my PS4 controller for it. But yeah, anyway, that's all the time we have for this episode. Until next time, thank you for tuning into Aperture Gaming, and I'm glad we got to blow off some steam with a boss review. So until next time, this has been Test Subject 1337 saying thanks for watching, game on, and have a nice day.